Now we have a reading, and I'm going to do this reading from Paramhansa Yoganandaji's poem. I come to tell you all of him. Sure, all of us have heard, but we can hear it any number of times, friends, with our love and devotion for the Guru. I come to tell you all of him and the way to encase him in your bosom, and of the discipline which brings his grace. To those of you who have asked me to guide you to my beloved's presence, I will warn you through my silently talking mind, or speak to you through a gentle, significant glance, or whisper to you through my love, or loudly dissuade you when you stray away from him. But when I shall become only a memory or a mental image, or silently speaking voice, when no earthly call will ever reveal my whereabouts in unplumbed space, when no shallow entreaty or stern stentorian command will bring an answer from me, I will smile in your mind when you are right. And when you are wrong, I will weep through my eyes, dimly peering at you in the dark, and weep through your eyes, perchance. And I will whisper to you through your conscience, and I will reason with you through your reason. I will love through your love. When you're able no longer to talk to me, read my whispers from eternity. Eternally through that I will talk to you. Unknown I will walk by your side and guard you with invisible arms. And as soon as you know my beloved and hear his voice in silence, you will know me again more tangibly than you knew me in this earth plane. And yet, when I am only a dream to you, I will come to remind you that you too are not but a dream of my heavenly beloved. And when you know you are a dream, as I know now, we all will be ever awakened hence. So, friends, this is the unconditional love of the Guru for all his disciples. This is divine love. Guru's love is divine love. And it is so interesting that this love is omnipresent. It is everywhere, center everywhere, circumference nowhere. So this is omnipresent love of God and our gurus. Even the great scientist Albert Einstein had said that there is a powerful force in the universe that binds everything to everything else. It unifies. And you know what he said that powerful force is? He shared that with his daughter later in one of the letters he wrote to her. He said, that powerful force that unifies everything in the universe with everything else is the powerful force of love. Now, you may ask, human love is not that. It's not that unconditional. It is not that omnipresent love that we experience in human relationships. Of course, friends, we don't. And this is because it is tainted with many conditions. If you do this for me, I will love you. In fact, human law, it is said that it is based on the law of mutual usefulness. If you're useful to me in any way, I love you. Otherwise, no. So you see, people whom we supposedly love, they have selfish and feelings of possessiveness, expectations from us, that what we can offer them, what we can do. This is not so with divine love. Yoganandaji has said that as soon as you love all people with the intensity of love that you have for your family, then you are expressing divine love. Now, let us also try to understand that what is the purpose of this universal divine love, which is omnipresent. In fact, friends, there are two opposing forces of nature. One is the universal force of love. which even Einstein said that yes, it is there and it unifies. And the second force, of course, we all know, is the delusive force of Maya. Now, God wanted to enjoy himself and money, as we know, and that is why this creation came into being, and the delusive force of Maya, which separates us from our divine reality, that happened. And that is how we are all pulled, to this material world. The delusive pull of Maya is so very potent that it pulls us through our desires, our many attachments, our likes and dislikes, and so on. But God is very kind. He didn't want, the beings that He's created to remain separated from Him. Therefore, He created the universal power of love. This is an opposing force because God wants us to come back, His children, to come back, the prodigal son to come home one day, merge in the light from where he emerged. And interestingly, friends, this is actually the cosmic vibration of Om, which is omnipresent. That represents the divine love. That is a universal force that if we commune with, we get more and more attracted to God's power, His transcending power of love. Now, therefore, divine love is actually the cause of evolution. Isn't that so? God wants us to evolve. And divine love is that power which helps us evolve and come closer and closer to that divine love and merge with that one day. This is the infinite bliss. This is the infinite wisdom of God that is calling each soul. And the Guru is helping us. And how can, friends, we can actually, hasten this evolution in us? The answer is to cooperate with the Guru's love, which has that transcending power, the power to transcend our egos, because it is our ego consciousness which is pulling us to this material world. But the moment we cooperate with Guru's consciousness, and that is through following his teachings, doing his will, practicing the techniques the Guru has given us. And thus, slowly, it is the Guru who will change us and make us more and more ready for, that day when we are finally self-realized, we merge into the infinite bliss and wisdom of God. And now, coming to friends, what is unconditional love, which is, of course, a super tonic, as we all know. And cooperating with Guru's love is what we need to do as the disciples of Paramhansa Yogananda. Master has also said, these are his words, that, to live in marital harmony, both husband and wife must be of spiritual service to each other. So what he's trying to say is that the highest form of human love is friendship. It's friendship, friends. As we know that true friends always will like to seek God together, and they will think of the spiritual progress of the partner. So there is this, way to give. What can I give my partner? This is a spiritual service that, a friend has towards the other. So true friends are actually mutually seeking God. But if we have to now ask this question, that who is my true friend? And if you look around, my spouse, my child, my Guru Bhai, or anybody, in my relations, I'll tell you a story here to tell you who's my divine friend. Of course, you know it. And it's the same for all of us. It was actually many, many years ago, more than a decade or maybe 15 years back, when my daughter was just about 6 or 7 years old. And she was very fond of, even now she is, doing the art and craft work. And she used to make these cards, greeting cards for her friends. on a birthdays or some festivals. So this little girl had made a card. When I came back from the office, she said, Mom, I have to show you something. And she showed me that card. It was so beautiful. And when I opened the card, you know what I saw? Of course, all the beautiful drawings she had made and things like that. And she written her friend's name, to so and so. In bracket, my BFF. I didn't know the meaning. I asked, what does BFF mean? Oh, you don't know. It means best friend forever. Oh, wow. Little girl knew, and I didn't know that. Anyway, that story was actually forgotten till I found my guru. When I came on the Kriya path, I realized, oh, he is my BFF. He is my best friend forever. It is he who showers upon me his unconditional love. And it is true, friends, as I said, for all of us. All the disciples of Paramhansa Yogananda would say the same. He is my best friend forever. Because he personifies that divine friendship where he's always and always helping us, to progress on the Kriya path and to be self-realized one day, merge into the consciousness of God. Now, also, if you have to, friends, now ask this question, that how do I cultivate that divine love in me, that consciousness in me that I want to offer to my guru? As we did the affirmation, Vibhaji did on devotion. How to develop that? Now, for that, I would say that there are 4 things. First is to connect with nature. What happens when you see a beautiful flower? What happens when you walk on the lush green grass? Or when, cool breeze in the summer touches you and you feel that bliss. Or maybe in winters, you feel the warmth of the sun. Or maybe you have a pet and you're taking care of your pet. In all these situations, you are connecting with nature. And that is what, kindles in our heart that feeling of love. And we can feel that joy, that love in all these situations when we connect with nature, when we connect with, the divine presence all around us. The second is selfless service. When we do any act of selfless service, where we don't have selfish motives or our own agenda, then we'll see that what we give, we receive in manifold times later. We have to have the patience, but no expectations, of course. Any kind of selfish service is so beautiful because it expands our hearts. And it is so wonderful that God has given all of us a very beautiful heart. And that heart has the quality to expand. Expand what? The energy of love, which God has put inside each heart, each human heart. That energy of love is already there. But the beauty is that we have the ability to expand that energy of love, which we can do by connecting with nature, and secondly, through selfless service. And third is, of course, friends, it is meditation. Because in meditation, we reach that state of stillness, silence, when our thoughts have completely rested and our hearts are stilled, we can feel the love in our hearts expand. And that's a beautiful practice all of us are doing, of course, and we can feel it happen at each time that we meditate and sit in silence. And lastly, of course, I feel that we can expand this energy, divine love in our hearts, is through random acts of kindness. Not planned. You have not planned. You're just going out, maybe, and you see some people who are hungry. You feed them. Or you see, for example, I'll tell you, just a few days back, I was making a cup of tea for myself. And I asked my house help, do you want to have tea? She said, yes. And it was a random act of kindness. And, it gave me so much joy. I mean, it was so lovely, when you can do these things which are not planned, which you have not kind of decided upon doing or anything. You're just out in the world and something comes up, presents itself, and you respond in a way that reflects a kind heart, that shows the feelings of your divine love expanding to others, to touch their hearts, because they also have the same divine love in their hearts. So these are the four things by which we can expand our divine love inherent in our heart, and it is a very, very potent energy. Now, there is a technique which Paramhansa Yogananda ji has given us. And this is so beautiful. When we practice this technique, especially friends after meditation, when we are sitting in silence, we can practice this technique. And this is actually, as Master says, to send out your searchlights of love from your heart when you're sitting in silence at the last part of meditation. And you send out your energy of love from your heart to the whole of creation. That includes plants, animals, other beings, all creatures, everything around you. And say, these are the words of Paramhansa Yogananda. He said, you say this then, Lord of love, make the love of my heart flood through all and make me feel thy love in the hearts of all. You say this maybe a couple of times, and you visualize then your heart's love expand everywhere and touching all creatures, all living beings, and expanding further out into cosmos, touching the stellar systems, expanding further into the boundaries of eternity, continue to expand the heart's love. So this is a beautiful technique that we can practice, friends. And as we become one with God's omnipresent love, what happens is, mysteriously, magically, our own relationships will become better. And not just better, they will be sanctified. Because our love, which is inherent in the heart, when we expand it to other creatures, with other beings, we don't even know. As I said, expanded as in this technique, Master says, expanded everywhere. Our relationships are sanctified, our lives improve, our relationships become better, and thus we of course get so much. The bounty of nature comes to us in abundance. And I have just about a few minutes before I hand it over to Vibhaji. I would like to say, friends, that the Guru's love is all embracing. And the Guru's love for a disciple is just like, if I give an example of a construction site, where the master planner or, the architect, he knows that even when the building is under construction, there are very loose things and it's very messy, rough edges are there. But he knows what is on the map, what is there on the paper, and he knows he can foresee what is going to happen, how the building is going to come up and look so beautiful. In our case, the master is that planner. He's that architect. He's shaping our lives through his love. And that is the transcending power of the Guru's love. He's changing us, friends. He's changing us. And he knows what is happening at every single moment in our lives. So that, when that beautiful building is constructed and the master planner says, wow, that is a state for us. When Master has changed us so much that we have transcended our egos and we are ready to merge into God's light, into his eternal bliss and wisdom from where we came. So that is how, friends, it is that we are able to transcend our egos with that powerful force that the Guru exerts on us. But remember, we have to cooperate with his grace. We have to be in tune with his consciousness. And that is what discipleship on the path of Kriya Yoga is all so important. And That is the trick. It is the Guru changing us through that power of love, his unconditional love on all his disciples. And it is for all of us. We are all together receiving his grace. And with that, I hand it over to Vibha. Thank you, everyone. You're muted, Vibha.
A very joyful welcome to all my friends here. And that was a very good sharing, Cheena ji. I must appreciate that. Thank you. So, friends, one, we want to have more energy flowing, more love flowing in this class. Cheena ji talked a lot about it. How about having some more videos on? So that we see your beautiful faces, we see your eyes, and there's an exchange of energy. You can take a couple of minutes to whatever and then put on your videos. It'll be very nice to see you all in the frame here. So, as Gina ji mentioned, that the last 3 days have been very powerful, filled with grace, with blessings, and with light. Because so many good things were happening in the last 3 days. And all over in all Ananda centers, we were hearing about kirtans and long meditations. So 3 days have been beautiful. We had a Master's Mahasamadhi and then Shri Yukteswar's Mahasamadhi and we had Shivratri. It has been a period filled with divine love. So, in the last 5 days, I was in Rishikesh, and the air was filled with spirituality. We went to many spots to meditate there. I was there with Naya Swami Shivani ji. So we went to the places where the divine avatars had given up their bodies, and we meditated there. We went to the kutis where they did their tapasya, and everywhere you just felt more devotion and very easy to concentrate and be in meditation. And then I thought it was only happening in the temples or the places where the divine ones had given up their bodies. But even when you were walking on the road, I think the whole air was blessed and filled with grace. It was a beautiful experience. And the little girls coming up and putting tika over here, and they have a special tika looking like a Shivaji's tika, the long ones. So it was a lovely experience, and the whole all the people meeting on the road, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. So the whole city turned into a spiritual and a vibrant love of the divine flowing over there. So it is the live experience of the transcending power of the Guru's love while being in Rishikesh. It was amazing. The Vashisht Gufa, we went there and filled with grace, filled with silence, filled with inner joy. Very nice. So, avatars as Paramhansa Yogananda and the Gurus of the Kriya Yoga, they touch the hearts with the deeper love for God. When they come, they bring love with them and they touch our hearts with the love which is love for God. No matter at what land we are, what walk, which road we are walking, we feel the Guru is speaking to me. He's just speaking to me. He knows what I need. He came for me. Each one of us in the class feels the Guru's presence and feels that the Guru has come for me. This is the love of the Guru. The Guru is omnipresent, giving love to all, but the recipients, we disciples, feel, oh, he's talking to me. His attention is for me, his love is for me, so my heart's love is for him alone. That's the magic the Guru creates. Paramhansa Yogananda would want his disciples to be more and more enthusiastic on the spiritual path, so he would tell them to how to conduct themselves to be more spiritual. And the disciples would look at him and say to him, Master, you can do it. Master, you are Yogananda. And then Paramhansa Yogananda will reply with power in his voice, the only difference between you and me is that I made the effort. So while the Guru brings the love, his messages make the effort to open yourself to receive that love. This is what the Guru comes to do. He comes to stir us with divine urge, with divine longing, intensity, intensifying our sadhana, our efforts in spiritual pursuits. We strive more perfectly to walk in the footsteps of Yogananda, our Guru. Why are we here today? Why are you here in the class today? Why am I here? Why is Cheena ji is here? Something inside us, something in our hearts, something in our soul at some time has cried out. I do want God. I do want to know how to know Him, how to touch Him, how to feel His love, how to feel His presence. Our heart has spoken these words. I want to know more and more. I want to be more and more joyful in that pure, ecstatic love. We've had glimpses here and there, but we want more, deeper experience. An avatar like Paramhansa Yogananda ji, Babaji, Sri Yukteswar ji, they have heard and they've heard our soul call and they responded to it. And that is why the avatars come. When they hear the soul call, the yearning of the souls, the love for the divine, they have very soft hearts, softer than the mother's heart. When a disciple is calling them loudly in thoughts or just as a wish in the heart, they receive it. And that is why they come here. They bring so much of wisdom. But more than the wisdom, friends, they bring understanding. What is the meaning of understanding here? Understanding here implies wherever we may be in our spiritual evolution, there is no judgment. They understand. They understand our situation, they understand our evolution, and they just take it up from there. They're like a mother. They want us to be better and higher. That's all they want. No criticism, no judgment. What a heavenly place to be in. Paramhansa Yogananda to his disciple once said, never argue with me. In your logical reasoning, you will lose out much wisdom. A very basic principle to follow the spiritual path. To surrender, to be open in our hearts so that the wisdom and the transcending love of the Guru can pass through our hearts. Sitting here in this session today, a thought can cross our hearts and mind. How am I to argue with the Guru? He is not here. He is not here. How am I going to argue? Friends, the arguments which happen at the mental level in our thoughts are much more powerful than the arguments done in the physical presence. In the physical presence, the emotions take over. More than our thoughts, emotions take over the control. But When we are thinking about something in our thoughts, thoughts are calm and cool. And then more and more arguments happen. Arguments of the kind, why am I going through this situation? Why am I facing it? What have I done? Do we know our past incarnations, what we did? The Guru loves us so much that whatever situation we are facing, friends, today, if he had any other easier way to overcome our karma, he would give it to us. When we suffer in our pain of the karmic diary, his heart bleeds with us. But look at the divinity in him. He wants us to rise. So he says to us, don't worry about the little pain of 1 year, 6 months, or some time. This will pass. You would have cleansed your karma. You would have cleansed your heart, and you would have risen higher. And why do I want to rise higher? I want to rise higher because most of us who have been on this path, I see the names have been here pretty long now, they understand that the joy, the love that we experience in the spiritual path is of much higher quality than the pleasures of the world of having a better job, a bigger house, a better promotion. Much different. They're two different things. And that is why you don't go out on a Sunday morning grabbing coffee somewhere, you're sitting here. The quality is different. And you want to have more and more that purer, that sattvic, that spiritual joy in your heart. And you want to learn how. Guruji used to say, if you hold a cup, right? Cup, a little cup to the divine, that little cup will be filled with his love, with his grace. If you hold a large vessel, a bigger one, then that large vessel will be filled. But if you hold up yourself, your entire self, foot to head, your heart, your brain, your finger, your thumb, every bit of you, hold it up to him. Then, and if you cleanse your heart of your resistances, of your ego, of your bad habits, then your entire being will be filled with the Guru's presence, with the Guru's love. And once we have that, we want nothing more. We want nothing else. Have you realized in your spiritual journey, all of us here are far away from the self-realization. Maybe it's such a long journey. The journey is this long, and we've just taken this much. But that this much of the distance that we have covered has given us enough inspiration, enough strength to carry on. We don't know how many millions of incarnations and how much time has to come, but we are on. We are on. We are doing it. We are on the spiritual journey. And that is what the Guru's grace, the transformation that Cheena ji was talking about, inner changes that start happening. We don't do those inner changes ourselves. How many times I have reflected about it, coming from the corporate world of 25, 30 years. Did I change myself? Did I sit down and tell myself, okay, I'm not going for evening parties now, and I'm going to Ananda Sangha for a satsang? Did I tell myself that I'm going to meditate? Did I tell myself that I am going to change my attire? I'm not going to wear all the dresses that are required. I'm going to be simply dressed. What helps me in my meditation? My food changed. Did I sit down and make each of those changes? I did not even know what changes to make. those changes are happening, and I was happy in those changes. The changes happened. I got more and more joy, and everyone here has the same joy. That's why you are here, friends. You wouldn't be here. It's not that you are part of the online system and Moshmi has sent us the link and we have joined it. No. We gain something, so we come. And we gain something which comes from the divine, from the Guru's love, which is something far purer, far more joyful. We hear probably the same thoughts, we hear probably the same words, but we come back again to listen to them. We listen to the same chants, but every time we listen to them, every time a wave of joy, a wave of love, a wave of cleansing our heart happens to us. And that is why we come, that is why we want to connect with the Guru. Guru is here right now. He's in your home, he's in this session. He has promised if more than 2 or 3 meet in my name, I'm there. We are quite a few here right now. He's here. His power is flowing. His love is flowing. We feel it. Guru is the one who has walked the way to be able, who has walked the way, who has found divine. And that is why he can guide us. He can guide his devotees. Whoever will try to be in tune with the Guru, and whoever thinks, Yogananji said, whoever thinks me near, I will always be near. Whoever thinks that Guru is sitting with me, whoever thinks when the world's raging storms are around me, which are there with everyone, and not that they have gone and they won't happen, they will happen again. But whoever thinks that in those storms, my Guru is with me, I'm experiencing the pain, he's experiencing it doubly. But he's praying that you are cleansing yourself. Have you ever thought about it? I have thought about it. Whenever the storms of life have come, I've hated them. I really found it, they become better by being on the spiritual path, but earlier it was so tough to deal with them. But now if you reflect back in your life and consider your storms, you will find each storm had a divine quality for you, in us to shape. There was something which was hidden and it had to blossom. And that challenge, that test, changed our inner core, and we brought about that change in our consciousness. If we have dealt with our challenges in the rightful manner. So accept the challenges. Challenge is Guru's love. So, as Cheena ji was saying, that the Guru's love has the transforming power, and accept his Guru in any form. The Guru has certain qualities. One more point that I want to make. Guru is just not a leader. Guru is the one appointed by God to lead the devotee to God's realization. He takes on the actual responsibility for the devotee to such a great extent that he takes out the responsibility that to a large extent he also takes on the burden of the karma. And he opens the door after door and directs the disciple finally as he advances on the spiritual journey to find the divine himself. So with these thoughts of the Guru's presence in our life, with his love in our life, keep the light burning in your heart, in your thoughts, in your relationships, in your actions. It will bring immense joy to all of us. Om Guru.